INFJ versus narcissist. Why the attraction feels so strong. That is the deeper psychology. So this is not random. It's a psychological fit, but not a healthy one. The seer meets the performer. The INFJ sees deeply. The narcissist wants to be seen as special. So what happens? The INFJ says internally, I see your pain, your hidden self. The narcissist feels, finally, someone who understands my greatness. But here's the truth. The INFJ sees the wounded child. The narcissist wants you to worship the false self. That mismatch becomes the trap. Empathy meets emptiness. INFJ have emotional depth. Narcissists have emotional hunger. So, just like a well, the INFJ, and a bucket with no bottom, that is the narcissist. The more the INFJ gives, the more the narcissist needs. Now, there's a strong attraction between the narcissist and the INFJ because idealism meets illusion. INFJs don't just see reality, they see potential. They think if I love them enough, they will become who they could be. But narcissists are invested in maintaining an illusion, not becoming real. You are loving a future version that may never exist. That's the key truth. Again, the attraction between the narcissist and the INFJ is because of the hook, the emotional intensity. At the beginning, it often feels deep, rare, and it's meant to be. Why? Because narcissists are skilled at mirroring you, at studying you, at becoming what you value. A mirror doesn't have its own face. It shows you yours. So, what is the hidden wound connection? This part is uncomfortable but important. INFJ sometimes carry a need to be needed, a desire to heal others, a history of emotional responsibility. Narcissists look for exactly that, not because they love it, but because they can use it. Now, the cycle that binds them. Idealization is the stage where you are perfect. Bonding is deep emotional connection. Devaluation is confusion and criticism. Repair attempts by INFJ sometimes they don't work. And the cycle keep repeating itself. Now this creates a trauma bond, an attachment through emotional highs and lows. So the core reality is that the INFJ is trying to build connection. The narcissist is trying to secure control. So how is it that an INFJ heals after narcissistic abuse? How an INFJ heals after narcissistic abuse? Healing is not quick. It is a return to yourself. First truth, it was not what you thought. You must accept the love was inconsistent. The connection was not equal. The person you believed in was partly an illusion. This is painful but necessary. So break the meaning trap. INFJs search for meaning in everything. After abuse, you may ask, why did this happen? What did I do wrong? Be careful. Not everything has a deep spiritual meaning. Sometimes you met someone unhealthy. That's the truth. Reclaim your inner voice. After gaslighting, the INFJ may doubt themselves. So don't doubt yourself as an INFJ. Start small. Trust your feelings again. Trust your memory. Trust your perception. When you feel something, say, this feeling is valid, even if someone denied it. Also, grieve fully. You're not just grieving a person. You're grieving the future you imagined, the version of them you believed in, the version of yourself you were in that relationship. Now, let that grief move. Again, rest your nervous system. INFJs absorb emotional intensity. After narcissistic relationships, your system may feel anxious, hyper alert, exhausted. Healing includes quiet time, nature, safe people, less stimulation. Again, rebuild boundaries slowly. You don't need to become cold. You need to become clear. Understand your pattern without blame. Ask, why did I stay? What did I ignore? What did I hope for? Not to shame yourself, but to grow awareness. Again, go no contact if possible. Distance is not punishment, it is protection. So, how can INFJs protect their energy without losing kindness? Now, this is the balance. Stay soft but not unguarded. Replace I understand with I observe. Understanding someone does not mean excusing them, tolerating harm. Instead of they are hurting, that's why they act this way, say, they may be hurting, but this behavior is not okay. So learn the difference between empathy versus access. You can feel for someone without giving them access to your life. For example, you can see a storm without standing in the rain. Again, set boundaries without explanation. You don't need long speeches. Simple is powerful. No, I'm not available for that. That doesn't work for me. So again, watch consistency, not intensity. INFJs are drawn to deep emotional moments, but real safety is in consistency, respect, and stability. Protect your inner world. Not everyone deserves your story, your depth, your vulnerability. Do not open your heart like a market where everyone enters freely. So accept that you cannot heal everyone. This is a hard one. Your gift is understanding, not fixing. Keep your exit awareness. Even in good relationships, stay aware. Are my needs respected? Am I shrinking? Am I overgiving? Awareness is protection. Choose peace over potential. Instead of asking, who could this person become? Ask, how do they treat me right now? INFJ don't attract narcissists because they are weak. They attract them because they are rare, deep, attentive, and emotionally rich. But what is rare must also be protected. A man found a beautiful garden. He invited everyone in. Some watered the plants, others plucked the flowers. One day he built a gate, not to keep love out, but to let the right people in. If you want, now, we can go straight into the exact phrases narcissists use. When it comes to gaslighting phrases, narcissists make you doubt yourself. They'll say, that never happened. You're imagining things. You are too sensitive. You always overreact. So what does this do? It slowly disconnects you from your own reality. You clearly remember something hurtful. Then the narcissist says, I never said that. Now you hesitate. That hesitation is a trap. Blame shifting phrases include, you made me do this. If you hadn't done that, I wouldn't react like this. Now this is your fault. The translation is that I will not take responsibility. Then we have love bombing phrases at the beginning or during hoovering. The narcissist will say, I've never felt this way before. You are different from everyone else. We are meant to be. You compete me. Now, the reality is that it feels deep, but it's often fast, intense, and strategic. Again, the narcissist will use control phrases such as, why are you talking to them? I don't like your friends. You should listen to me. I know what's best for you. What it does is that it shrinks your independence slowly. Then there's also guilt-tripping phrases. After everything I've done for you, you're so ungrateful. I guess I'm just a bad person then. The trick is that they make you feel guilty so that you stop holding them accountable. Then there are also devaluation phrases. You're not as special as you think. Anyone could do better than you. You've changed. The purpose is to lower your self-worth so that you stay. Again, there is silent treatment. No words at all. Sometimes the phrase is silence. Ignoring messages, withdrawing suddenly. So the message behind this silence is that you must chase me to restore connection. Then we have hoovering phrases after breakup. I've changed. I miss you. No one understands me like you. Can we talk? The hidden meaning is that I want access again. So we also have fake apologies. I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm sorry, but you also. So there's real apology versus fake. Real apology takes responsibility. A fake one redirects blame. Then we have future faking. We'll travel together. We'll build something amazing. I see a future with you. But there's no consistent action that follows. So what is the final truth about their words? Narcissists use words to create emotion, not reflect truth. The 5 stages of an INFJ's emotional recovery. Healing is not straight, but there are patterns. Stage 1 is confusion. The INFJ feels, what just happened? Was it real? Did I imagine things? Now this is the effect of gaslighting. So just like waking up from a dream, the INFJ cannot explain. Now the second stage of an INFJ recovering from a narcissist is realization. The INFJ begins to see patterns, to see manipulation, to see inconsistency. Now there's this moment, the INFJ stops blaming themselves and start questioning them. They start questioning the narcissist. Then the third stage is grief. This is the deepest stage. The INFJ starts grieving the person you thought they were. You start grieving the narcissist for who they were. You thought they were a good person, then you are realizing they're not. You start grieving the future you imagined you'll have with the narcissist, a good future. You start grieving the version of yourself in that relationship. So what is very important is that this pain is real, so don't rush it. Then the stage 4 is detachment. The INFJ starts to emotionally disconnect from the narcissist. They stop seeking answers. They start regaining mental space. So it feels like quiet after a storm. Stage 5 of a relationship between an INFJ and a narcissist is the rebirth. You return but different. Stronger boundaries, clearer thinking, deeper self-awareness. You don't just heal, you evolve. Now, how do you rebuild confidence and identity? Now, this is where the INFJ takes their power back, step by step. Reconnect with your reality. After manipulation, your sense of truth is shaken. So practice writing things down. What happened? What you felt? What was said? Now this grounds you again. Start making small decisions. Narcissistic relationships weaken your confidence. Rebuild it by choosing what to eat, choosing where to go, choosing what you want. Small choices rebuild inner trust. Reclaim your voice. Speak even in small ways. Say, I don't like that. I prefer this. Your voice is a muscle. Use it. Rebuild self-respect, not just confidence. Confidence says I can do things. Self-respect says I deserve better. So focus on self-respect first. Surround yourself with safe people. People who listen, people who respect boundaries, people who don't confuse you. Healing happens faster in safe environments. Stop romanticizing the past. Be honest. It wasn't all good. It wasn't stable. It wasn't safe. Clarity breaks attachment. Again, create new identity anchors. Ask, who am I outside that relationship? What do I enjoy? What matters to me? Then act on it. Forgive yourself, not them first. This is very important. Forgive yourself for staying too long. Forgive yourself for ignoring signs. Forgive yourself for giving too much. Build boundaries through action, not just thoughts. Say no, walk away, and limit access. That's how identity strengthens. Take your time. You're not behind. You're rebuilding something deeper, your sense of self. So the same heart that made you stay is the same heart that will help you heal if you learn to protect it. A mirror was cracked. It thought it could never reflect clearly again, but one day it realized it was not broken beyond use. It just needed to be held differently. So how do you spot a narcissist in the first 5 conversations? Look at patterns, not charm. Narcissists are often hard to detect because the first impression is engineered. Think of it like this: the performance starts before the truth shows up. The first conversation is too fast, too intense. The red flags are instant deep connection. I've never met someone like you. Oversharing very personal stories quickly. Pushing emotional closeness early. So what's happening? They are fast tracking intimacy to bypass your boundaries. The simple test is: healthy people take time. Manipulative people rush depth. So the second conversation is that they study you more than they share. So watch for when they ask many personal questions, when they mirror your values too perfectly, when they adapt quickly to your personality. For example, you say, I love honesty. Suddenly they become the most honest person ever. So what is the hidden pattern? Now this is mirroring, not authenticity. So the third conversation is small disrespects appear early. Look for subtle signs: interrupting you often, dismissing your opinions lightly, joking at your expense. So it's not the intensity, it is the frequency of small invalidations. Now the fourth conversation is that they control the flow. The signs are that conversations revolve around them. The narcissists steer topics back to themselves. They don't deeply engage with your feelings. The reality is that you feel heard, but not held in understanding. Conversation 5 is how they handle disagreement, how the narcissists handle disagreement. This is the most important test. Try mild disagreements like, I see it differently. Healthy response will be, interesting, tell me more. But narcissistic response will be defensiveness, irritation, subtle contempt, and turning it into your fault. So what is the golden rule? Watch how the narcissist reacts when they are not admired. That is the real person. Now, daily healing routines for INFJs. What are these daily healing routines for INFJs? To rebuild emotional stability and inner clarity, the INFJ, they don't just recover, they realign. So the morning route, ground your inner world. Silent start, that is 5 to 10 minutes. No phone, no noise. Just ask, how do I feel today? What do I need? Then there's the reality check statement. Say, my feelings are valid. My perception is real. This rebuilds trust in yourself. Then there's the one intent for the day. Example, today I protect my energy. Today I choose clarity over confusion. So INFJs absorb emotions easily. That is the energy reset. So step away from stimulation. Breathe slowly. 1 to 3 minutes. Ask, is this mine or someone else's emotion? So the simple grounding is touch something solid. Drink water slowly and walk quietly. So evening routine is the emotional unloading. Reflection, write or think. What drained me today? What felt good? Did I ignore any boundary? So the emotional release is journaling, quiet music, crying if needed, important, but it's not weakness. So what is the closure statement here? You'll say, I release what is not mine to carry. So the weekly routine is reconnect with self, nature walk, deep solitude time, creative expression, that is writing, art, music, no emotional chaos environments. How do you build boundaries without guilt? Now this is where NFJs struggle most. Redefine what boundaries are. A boundary is not rejection, cruelty, or selfishness. A boundary is, this is how I stay healthy in relationships. Separate feeling from fact. You may feel guilty, but ask, did I do something wrong, or did I simply protect myself? Guilt does not mean wrong. So start small. Don't go from zero to hard boundaries. Practice saying no to small requests, delaying responses, and not over-explaining. Use short phrases, no over-explanation. For example, you can say, I can't. That doesn't work for me. I'm not available for that. What is important is that the more you explain, the more they negotiate. So expect discomfort, not danger. When you set boundaries, guilt will rise, anxiety may appear, others may resist. This is normal, not a sign you're wrong. Remember, who benefits from your lack of boundaries? Ask, who benefits when I have no limits? This brings clarity instantly. So practice self-validation. After setting a boundary, say, I'm allowed to protect my peace. Accept this core truth. Not everyone will like your boundaries, and that is how you know they were needed. So your kindness is not the problem. Your lack of protection for your kindness is. A river gave water to everyone, but it had no banks, so it flooded villages instead of nourishing them. One day it learned, even rivers need boundaries to remain life-giving. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you've learned a thing or two. Please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel if you've not done so. Thank you.